All right, so this is the detention docket for the 323rd District Court. Okay, to explain what's going on. When a child is brought to a detention facility, the law says it must be judged within 2 days to decide whether to keep you in custody or to release you. Now, that decision is a two-part process. First, I have to decide based on the report given to me, which usually follows the police report, whether there's probable cause an offense is committed. Probable cause is a legal term. What that means is, can somebody articulate, can somebody put into words a series of statements that, if they were true, would be a violation of our laws. If that is the case, then I go to the second step to decide whether it is proper to detain you or if I need to release you. That decision is based on things like whether, if I feel like if I was to release you, you'd be a danger to yourself or a danger to others, whether you're likely to not appear for court, if you've previously been adjudicated for a felony, or whether there's adequate supervision in the community for you. If I decide to release you, I can release you on any kind of reasonable condition, like drug testing, electronic monitor, curfew, requiring to live in a place, requiring to stay away from a certain place. And if I decide to detain you, the law says you must see a judge every 10 days while you are here at our facility. Now, you do have certain rights in this hearing. You do have a right to remain silent. I encourage you to use that, mostly because there is a district attorney that is taking notes for this proceeding, and they will see that. I don't want you to say anything that puts yourself in a worse situation than you already are. And you do have a right to an attorney. However, if you give up your right to remain silent, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. And if you cannot afford an attorney, we will provide one for you. Now, I am certain there's information that I will not have today. Everything I have today is based on hearsay. This is not your final trial. This is not about whether you did something or not. This is simply about detaining you while your case is pending or releasing you into the community while your case is pending. But if you do have information that supports your case, that is something you want to tell your attorney. This is not the time to do so. Parents, there are several parents here. That advice goes to you as well. I am certain there's information about your child that I will not have today. Some of it may be useful, some of it not. But if you feel like it's useful, definitely please tell your child's attorney. All right, so we'll go with Alicia. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, Alicia, you're 16 years old. You were here back when you were 15, 14 as a runaway. Then 16, back in June, you were brought in here with failed ID and unlawfully carrying a weapon, specifically a handgun, which you got probation for. You're positive for marijuana, amphetamines, and methamphetamines. And so, let's see, back in July, you were placed on probation and put on an electronic monitor. You left home without permission and they issued a warrant for you. And mom says that you have a history of running away and she has a fear of you being abducted. So now, on Saturday, about 2:30, they were dispatched for domestic. When they got there, met with mom, said that you were a runaway, came back, arguing with family, and the police checked and saw you had a warrant out of here. So while being brought over here, you started kicking the rear driver's side door, and they alerted dispatch saying they put leg restraints on you, started screaming, so that you were going to fight the officers, and you spit on the officer's face. So they took you to JPS for a COVID check, and you're combative there. You said you were going to bite the officer, and you turned your head trying to, as if you were going to bite his arm, then discharged. You refused to get the police car, and you supposed to be to kick the officer in the chest, and brought over here, and then you're refusing a drug test. Right? Still refused?
The game was drug test by Saturday, so I think
Okay, so you're on probation, smoking weed, running away, and now allegedly kicking officers in the chest. So, Alicia, at this point, I feel like if I was to release you, then you would be a danger to yourself as well as others. I'm going to go ahead and take And so now you're looking at assault public servant charges. Before you're looking at the UCW case, failed ID, which are just misdemeanors, so you cannot be committed to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department. Now, in fact, if you did assault a public servant, then you could be committed to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department, just to let you know. I encourage you to do everything you can to make your attorney job easier. All right, thank you, Alicia. Do we have a mom here?
Yes.
Oh, hello, Mom.
Hello.
Oh, hello. I recognize you now. Okay, well, sorry we're going through all this with Alicia, but at this point, she's kind of showing me that I can't release her back to your home.
Oh, not a problem.
All right, thank you, Jim. Diana. Morning, sir. All right, Diana. She's 16 years old. Never been here before. Before the PD brought you in, they're saying that they were dispatched to domestic. Mom said that you were inside their apartment and lit a fire in the bedroom that had been put out. You admitted to lighting a fire by using a t-shirt, hand sanitizer, and a lighter. Investigators examined the scene. It looked like it met the elements of arson, so you're arrested and brought over here. We have a parent here.
Sure.
Hi, Mom. All right, well, tell me what's going on with Diana. If you don't mind stating, thank you.
Yes, we're fairly new here. We moved here in March. We're from Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay,
So prior to coming here, she was a runaway. I
okay,
was having problems with her running away constantly with the boy. And I just recently got her like 3 weeks ago, and she's still not happy about being with me.
what do you mean you got her 3 weeks ago?
She was still in Mississippi with my father.
With your father, okay?
Yes, sir, I'm sorry. And I just recently got her to come back and live with me, you know, and she's still not happy, and she's just been acting out. Like, she screams at us, she says she hates us. I don't know if she's suicidal or whatever, but she always says she's gonna kill herself. She hopes we die. Like, she needs counseling or something. I don't
Okay,
know
so
what else to do with her.
have you tried to get her counseling?
When we were in Mississippi, yes, they
Okay.
never held her no more than 7 days.
Right.
She went to a place called Brentwood.
What about
Okay.
here? Have you tried to get her counseling here?
No, not this weekend.
Okay, she's been here for 3 weeks?
Yes.
Okay, so you kind of got, is she on Medicaid?
Yes, but
Yes.
not for this state. It's in Mississippi.
Okay, have you started the paperwork to transfer it over?
Yes, I have.
Yes, okay. Well, so let me ask you this, is there court ordered anything regarding Diana?
No.
No, so you just voluntarily left her with your dad?
Yes,
Okay,
because she fights against me. She doesn't want to come.
sure,
So right now, we were in the process of getting her adopted with her grandmother, but her grandmother stays in Memphis. So with this going on now, I don't know how that's gonna work.
so grandpa lives in Jackson, grandma lives
And
in
then,
Memphis. And your dad in the picture at all?
no,
No,
he's
okay.
on drugs.
I'm sorry,
No, he's on drugs.
he's on drugs, okay. What's the current wait time for psychological? We're still at 6 weeks?
4 to 6 weeks. Maybe longer.
Who's in charge of all that? Dr. Parnham? Yeah, but nobody here on the JPD side, there's nobody, no coordinator or anything?
We had a liaison that we got one this morning, just like it was August.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and order psychological to see what's going on. I don't know if we need a psychiatric yet. Does she have a history of mental illness, your daughter, or do you suspect?
I suspect something, yes, going on. It's in the family, but since I've been taking I have 4 girls.
Okay.
And she's the only one that's been coming up.
Now, is this all over a boy?
It started that way, yes.
Okay, so it started that way, and now,
Well, to my knowledge, that's what it still is, but that's how it started, yes. She started running away with her boyfriend,
how old's the boyfriend?
16.
Okay. Well, she's not gonna talk to her boyfriend from within here, right? There's no, phone calls can only be disabled, correct? All right. Well, Deanna, I feel like if I was to release you, you'd be a danger to yourself as well as to others. I'm gonna go ahead and detain you to see you as your case progresses, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Jonathan. Thank you, Mom.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Thank you. Hey, Jonathan, you're almost 17. Never been here before. See, back on July 9th, you referred to Arlington PD for possession of marijuana. Can I just read this report?
I'm sorry, I don't believe you did.
Yeah, it's one of my staff.
This is an attorney requested.
Oh, attorney requested, okay. Six Flags, weed in the trash can. You admitted throwing weed in the trash can because the drug dog was coming by. And serial can weed case. And then there's also potentially a pending report out of you punching another kid at school.
A couple of years ago.
That was a couple of years ago, October 19th. And so that never got filed?
No, sir, it was just referred to the DA's office when it was located last week.
Okay. Okay.
I thought that had been taken care of. It may be confusing with the citation. He remembers taking care of something, so there's some confusion on that.
Right.
Some years ago. Mom wasn't here, but, well, Mom was over detention for about 2 hours and then we sent her over here for that hearing last week.
Okay.
So we're asking you to release. I want to charge her. Mom's here and Mom is supervising.
Okay. And no other history of this release?
Yes.
All right. All right. Okay, Jonathan, well, I'm gonna go ahead and release you. But you know, I'm not even talking about the merits of weed, okay? It's illegal in Texas, right? And I'm pretty sure at this point, you're realizing that having a 10th of an ounce of weed at Six Flags was not worth what you've had to go through here, right? So I don't want you to admit anything. I'm just saying, just keep that perspective as you grow into adulthood, that something's just not worth it. So if it's not worth it, it's not worth it. Just don't run the risk. Okay? All right, I can go and let you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Collasso. Amber. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, Amber. 15 years old. Never been here before. You're currently in CPS care. Y'all are here for Amber? Yes. I recognize you. You're with the department.
Yes, sir.
And then, but you're the only one not wearing a mask. I don't know if I recognize y'all or not.
No, I haven't been here before, but I'm a primary worker.
Okay, with those, you okay?
Yes,
And I'm her protege, Alyssa Darty.
So you're who?
Taylor's protege, I'm underneath her right
Okay.
now.
Okay. All right. You're an investigator, so?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My memory's not all gone yet.
No, sir.
All right. Okay, Samber, what's her current conservatorship status?
We have private primary
Do you
managing.
mind sitting?
Oh,
That's
sorry,
right.
Judge, excuse me. We have primary managing conservator over Amber
With termination or without?
without.
Without, okay. Where is mom and dad right now?
Dad is currently located in a MHMR treatment facility called Trinity Springs.
Okay,
He was just recently bailed out of jail for him to receive that mental health treatment that he needs, and mom's whereabouts are unknown. The department has not had any contact with her since March of 2020.
what year did this case start?
February of 2020.
2020, okay. And so is it temporary PMC or is it permanent?
Permanent.
Okay. And mom and dad, I'm assuming you're still possessory conservators?
They still have their parental rights.
Okay,
So if they're more than willing to work their services, they could have a chance, but
Sure.
neither one of them has been cooperative.
okay, was Amber's, what county was her case out of here?
In Tarrant County,
Okay,
and he started in the 323rd, was transferred to 3rd.
okay, all right. All right, so Amber, let's see, currently in CPS care. Police were dispatched, to Exxon for suspicious person. Females said that 2 juveniles, you and male. Nolan Gates, I recognize that. So he's also in y'all's care.
Nolan had an open investigation with his parents, but he's currently not in care.
Okay. All right. All right, trying to get to her vehicle as she was pumping gas, got in an argument. She drove off and contacted the police. Police found the juveniles, but they ran away after seeing the police car. They kept sight of Amber, caught up with her. She gave her companion's name. Once they got in there, in the police car, got aggressive, tried to kick out the divider window and the window of the cruiser. So this is a runaway. Learned from foster mom, there's an assault charge when she ran away. Foster mom reported that Amber pulled a knife on her about July 8th when they argued. Mom says she did not fear her. She didn't really think Amber was going to hurt her. And did not want to file charges. But the police thought it was more important because a knife was used. So now you're looking at evading arrest on foot and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. All right, well, let me ask the department, what's the department, CPS's plan?
Excuse me. Currently, we're dealing with a crisis with placing our teenagers. We've had children reside at our home that we have reserved for our children for extended periods of time. So I'm asking the court excuse me, if Amber could stay here for at least 30 days so we can find a proper treatment for her. I prefer her to go to a mental health hospital first before sending her off to a residential treatment facility because she is not able to go back to her previous home that she was residing at.
Sure, because of the aggravated assault.
Right.
So what are the needs that Amber's looking at right now?
She has a lot of mental health needs. She suffers with severe depression, anxiety, and she has ADHD.
Okay,
I feel like Amber's triggered like when she talks to her parents or start being concerned about her parents. Early in July, she did have a suicidal attempt. And so she was hospitalized for 7 days at Premier Hospital in Arlington. And since then, she just became more aggressive. She stated herself that her medications aren't working. And I had a psychiatric evaluation set up for her last Wednesday, but she was ill.
okay.
So the next one.
Amber was ill or the doctor was ill?
Amber was.
Okay.
And so the next appointment wasn't going to be until August 2nd to get her in for her evaluation so we can get her meds reviewed as
Sure.
well.
And that appointment's still on technically, correct?
Yes, still on.
So, do you have the cost number, the 231st?
There you are.
Okay.
It is 231-679-22620.
Okay. So first, I want to I'm going to go ahead and contact Judge Navarez and ask him if he's willing to transfer the CPS case to this court. That way we can try and help Amber on both sides through Title III and Title V of the family code. Sometimes it's more efficient that way. So do you still, well, do you know who her attorney is? You are?
I am.
Okay, great.
So yeah, I called back this morning, letter.
Perfect. So
Someone else put it in.
that way Ms. Jacobson can work on both sides and there's more available resources. So that's one. And Judge Tavares has always been very gracious in transferring those cases while the juvenile case is pending. Okay, so second thing is it's very important to me that our detention facility is not an RTC. I mean, it's an emergency place, you know, that we need, but I think there is long-term negative effects on children for being here for too long. And 30 days is really longer than it should be. So I'm not okay with 30 days, but
We can do shorter if you are willing to. The thing is that we have children in our homes and we have around the clock staff, but
right.
most children while they're there, they end up running anyways.
I
And we're
understand.
just rather know where she is and know that she's safe than rather her being out on the streets. So that's why my supervisor requested the 30 days, but if we can do 2 weeks, we can work really diligently with our intake team to see if we can find something quicker for her.
So before we talk about time, and it's just I'm not trying to beat you up, but when you say 30 days and just throw out 2 weeks, it sounds like you're kind of picking a number and then trying to make it fit. I'd rather work the other way. Tell me how much time you need, and I want to give you that time.
Right.
So-
With the intake, with the placement for juveniles, it's just,
Uh-huh.
I can't give you a time, honestly, Judge. I apologize. It's been a crisis right now with getting our teenagers placed.
Sure. No, I
So
understand.
I'm
So-
sorry, I can't.
No,
give
no,
you
no,
a
it's
time.
fine. This is not the first time I'm running across this. I understand that there's all kinds of other issues going on. This is what I want to do then, is because I just believe in accountability for the department as well as for you, Amber, okay? Is Amber, I'm going to detain you because you're running away, okay? That should not surprise you. You know, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, there's consequences. You're free to make a choice. You're just not free to choose your consequence, all right? Now, the second step is, since we don't have a time that you actually need, what I would like to do is go ahead and set this weekly. And you can come back and you can explain what you've done for the previous week and give me an idea of how much further that we need. But I don't want to set this off arbitrarily, because in my experience, when I do that, we come back in 2 weeks and say, Judge, we're trying, which I don't think y'all are lying. When there's a weekly accountability, I think it really gets everyone involved, especially when 1 week will come by, and I don't know about this case or with you, but in the past, there would eventually be a week where it's like, Judge, there's really no update, and I'm like, well, then you need to take her.
I would love that, actually, Judge. The weekly update would be
Right.
great for us.
Pretty great. But if we come here in 1 week and y'all don't show any progress, I may just say, you just can't take her now and figure it out.
Yes, sir.
So as long as y'all are working diligently, I'm okay holding her here. But if there's no actual progress, then I want her to get out of here.
Yes, sir. I can assure you that there'll be diligent progress.
Okay, all right. This is your way of beating up your supervisor, by the way.
That's fine. I'll take that.
Okay, all right. So Amber. Oh, also, the August 2nd, please keep that appointment. We can either release her to you to take her to the appointment and bring her back, or we can transfer her to the appointment and bring her back.
Yes, sir.
I would recommend you picking her up if you feel like she's not gonna run away, because a lot of doctors aren't comfortable with children in restraints. She would probably be in restraints if we transport her.
Okay.
But if you feel like she's gonna run on you, then at that point, then we may have to transport her.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll try to gauge in between and see what will be great.
And call the doctor, see what the doctor's comfortable with.
Okay.
And if the doctor needs to come here, then we can make that available.
We can set that up as well. Okay. Thank you, Judge.
All right, so Amber, I know you're disappointed, but here's the situation. You didn't ask for the situation with your parents, but this is the situation that you have. When you run away from a placement, something that I know that you know is wrong.
I don't even know what the fuck happened, bro. I don't even know what happened. Oh my God. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go.
You don't want her to sit down? So anyway, the only thing in life that you control is how you react. And when you decide to react to foster by running away, when you decide to react to the police by running away when they were looking for you, and when you're reacting like this is what you're in control of. At this point, there's one person able to make a decision on whether you release or not. This is your behavior on that. I just need to make sure that you understand, Amber, that you don't control the thing, right? You don't call the shots. And if you're trying to impress me this way, I need you to understand that given your case, potentially, you could be sent to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department for up to 20 years. And I could transfer you to the adult prison system to complete the remainder of your sentence. So if there's any one person right now that you need to impress, telling me, I don't know what the fuck is going on, that is not the way to do it. If you're telling me that you don't even care, what reason do I have not to just leave you here? Amber, there may have been a point, there may have never been a point in your life where somebody actually held you accountable for your decisions, but there hasn't. I'm that guy. So we will see you next week. Hopefully there's better news from CPS. But if you continue to behave like this, I cannot release you to CPS. You will be making the decision to stay here. That's based on your actions. So meanwhile, I'm detaining you. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Amber. Mary, let's go ahead. I don't want to set this on a Monday, just because Mondays, depending on the weekend, can get hectic. So is there another day of the week that